Let me ask you something. Have you gotten so good at helping everyone else that you've lost touch with what you actually need? You show up, you support, you hold space and keep it all together. But underneath it, there's something that you've been avoiding, numbing or pushing down. And maybe you've had moments, quiet ones, where you've thought something has to change. What if that feeling isn't weakness? What if it's a calling to heal, a calling to step into something more, a calling to finally use everything that you've been through for a bigger purpose? Welcome back.
Welcome to the Passion to Payday podcast.
We are your hosts, Becky, Sampson, and
Heather Laughter.
This is where stories turn into strategy and passion turns into profit.
Every episode, you'll hear how everyday women build real income doing what they love, and how you can too.
Turn your passions into paydays. Welcome to the show. Oh, we're back for another one. Yay! Hey, welcome to the Passion to Payday. I'm Becky Sampson and
Heather Laughter.
Heather Laughter. Oh my goodness. Are we on a roll or what?
You know what? This is so much fun. I don't know that it's legal. Oh, I think it is, but it is so much fun. And I'm so excited to introduce our next guest, Tera Brown. Let me tell you, she didn't set out to build a coaching empire. She set out to heal herself. After years of living in a pattern she describes as avoiding, numbing, and denying her own emotions, she woke up, did the work, and discovered that everything she had walked through was actually preparation for what she was meant to do. Today, she's the founder of Healers Academy, where she mentors women who feel God nudging them toward coaching, teaching them trauma-informed, faith-based techniques rooted in emotional literacy and Christ-centered discernment, and walking them from almost ready to confidently holding space for the women who need the most. As the host of the Faith-Based Life Coach Launchpad podcast and creator of a full coaching certification program, she's turned her pain into a platform and her healing into her passion to payday. We're so glad she's here today. So welcome, Tera. There she is.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, thanks for taking time out of your day, because I know we are all busy and we're running our businesses and everything. And I mean, you're speaking our language, so we're excited.
Your intro could have been to my business, really.
I know. We'll see. And we're very passionate about that is that, you know, it's come from our past of stuff, pain that goes into our purpose. Right.
Yep.
So tell everybody kind of what your backstory is and what got you to being to where you are today, and then helping people the way that, you know, being passionate about helping the people that you serve.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, I've done lots of years of work to be able to say this in a nutshell, but I grew up in a home where it was not okay to share your feelings. Yeah. It was actually not okay to feel them, to have them at all. And I remember being married about 16 years, just kind of living this numb life. My son said to me the other day, "Mom, do you remember blah, blah, blah?" And I was like, "No, remember, I've told you before that I don't really have a lot of memories from my childhood." And he said, "Mom, that was my childhood." And I was like, "Ooh." Okay. And I still didn't have a lot of memories then because my kids were just little and I just was busy on the numb train. Yeah. And then one beautiful morning, my husband disclosed a whole bunch of stuff all at once. And it really broke me. I remember just sitting down, putting a pillow on my lap and listening because I didn't know how to respond. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know if I still wanted to be married. I didn't know any of it. And I still get a little bit emotional about it because it was such a beautiful moment where I broke open and I knew I had to get help. I knew that I needed to start feeling my things. I knew that if I wanted to stay in this relationship, we needed to really work together and separately. But that started both of us on this beautiful path. And so right now, actually this year, we're equal. 16 years before, 16 years after.
Wow.
And it's been an amazing journey, and it's never perfect, and no day is ever perfect, right? But it started me on this path of, I can take this pain that I have been feeling and all those years before that I wasn't, and help people with it, because I knew that there are so many other people in this world who have experienced something hard or something big. And then God uses that. That's why he gives us those nudges. That's why he gives us those experiences, so that we can help other people to heal. The other thing that I know that I love to say is, we can only help someone heal to the place where we are. So we can't show them down the path further than we are. And so we have to continue to do our work. And that's why I'm so passionate about like helping women know that your healing's actually never over. Yeah. You get to keep going and keep learning and keep growing and stretching yourself. And the expansion feels so uncomfortable, and you have to shrink back for a second. And then you know that you have that in you to keep going. And that's where all of my passion comes from, is just like, how can I turn this pain into my purpose, and how can I lead someone else down the primrose path to healing?
You know, what's interesting is that you know, for some people that are watching, they may know this, but I lost 130 pounds when I started my coaching program 16 years ago. And I obviously, you know, I was like, okay, wow, you know, I've had this success, and now I go and help other people. But the thing that came to my mind when you were talking is that I realized that not everybody I talked to that's lost a huge amount of weight wanted to be a coach. And I was like, what? Like, how do you not be that way? Because I mean, I was like, I know what it felt to be suffering. And I met somebody that had lost 150, and they're like, no, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to help anybody. And I'm like, how do you do that? Like, how do you not want to give back? But it's true that there are a lot of people, even, you know, in the divorce space too, that really feel like, hey, I've been through that. I know that there's other people suffering out there, and I see a better way. And I want to be able to help you with that. So I love that you're focused on taking that pain and putting it into your passion in a way. I know when I first met you, you talked a lot about trauma. And so in the work that you do with your clients, or even helping them coach, do you specifically address the trauma?
Yeah, my whole program is actually trauma informed, because when I started learning, and we talked all about addiction and codependency, and you just need boundaries, and it was just so like, it didn't really resonate with me. And as soon as I learned some trauma informed skills to be like, okay, I see that part of you, and that part was really wounded. And I was just talking to someone this morning and telling them how I'd seen this video of this woman who was like talking to her inner child, like she was just a tiny little girl. And just like, when we can learn how to see other people's, how they are showing up in their unskilled behaviors, right? Like they're just coming at us as an unskilled behavior. Mel Robbins says we're all 8-year-olds bumping into each other. And that really is a trauma informed lens, where it's not just, well, he's bad, and so he did this thing, and that hurt me, and this is why, and this is what I have to do about it. But really like looking at it from this trauma informed lens of, where is that coming from, and what can I do about it, and how can I make a healthier choice? Because we all have choices every day, and we can make really unhealthy ones, or we can just move towards, how can I be my very best self?
I love that. I love also that you not only became successful in your own passion to purpose path, try saying that 5 times real fast.
I know.
But you also started an academy, Healers Academy, where you are mentoring other women to turn their passion into purpose as well. And I love to hear a little bit more about that, and how that's going for you.
So I love so much Healers Academy, and it has grown and grown and grown and changed and morphed a little bit. But can I share an experience from yesterday?
Absolutely.
Please.
One of my students came to me a couple of days ago, and she's like, I have my first paying client, and I don't know how I feel about it, and am I ready, and what do I do, and how do I do this? And she had probably like 30 minutes worth of questions on Marco Polo back and forth, and she just kept going on. And yesterday afternoon, she messaged me in tears, and she was like, I can't believe how easy that was. And I listened to my intuition and I just shared from my heart. And I didn't have it like an outline of how this has to go and what she's going to say and what I'm going to say. And I just like, it brought me to tears because she was so confident. And that's the thing is and I kind of poke fun at it, and maybe this is wrong and I'm going to admit it right now online, but there's a lot of coaching programs out there who are like, be a coach in 3 days. And yes, can you learn some good skills? Yes. But I actually on purpose went to one of those just to see what it was like, because I'm like, how can I take this whole program for a whole year, right? And teach you and mentor you and get you really good so that you're confident in your grounded skills. And they think they're doing the same thing in 3 days. And at the end of the 3 days, there were several people who were like, wait, do you mean that I can just say now that I'm a coach and I can just go out there and charge big money and just tell people that? And I'm like, well, the fact that you're asking that question tells me you're probably not going to be able to, right? But we can learn skills. There's a big difference between learning skills and getting really mastered at them and being able to have a mentor that said, like, this is what came up for me and how would you have handled that? Or what can I say differently? And even my friend yesterday, when she messaged me back, she's like, I think I forgot to say, like, if you want to have another session, and so we kind of worked through like how to say that and how to invite like more connection afterwards. But I think that that's an important part of it, is to have someone to hold your hand with. And the other part about my program is all of this learning, all of these different skills, all of these modalities that I teach are going to actually bring up your own work. And so included in my program are sessions for you to work through your stuff too, because as you learn all these things, you're literally going to find more of your own work, and you need to have a safe place to do that too.
So Tera, you bring up a really interesting topic, because Heather's going to go, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So Heather, here's a good example. Like, I don't have certifications. Like I didn't choose to go that route.
Right.
When I did coaching, when I started 16 years ago, I'm like, look, this is my life experience. You can take it or leave it. And I wasn't like rude about it, but it's just like, if you want what I have, then I can teach you to do what I do.
Right.
I wasn't drawn to certifications and that kind of thing. Now, Heather, on the other hand, has gone down that and has so many certifications in business and in coaching and all of that kind of stuff. But it is interesting whether or not you choose to get certified or not. There's still a lot of internal work that we have to do within ourselves, because we do get that ceiling of, can we ask for what we're worth? But if you don't feel like you're worth anything,
right.
And when you find the right people, I always say you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, it's like you don't have the right script. You don't say the right thing. But you know what? Your right person's like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, I love you. You're amazing. And it feels so good as a coach for someone to be like, wow, they're really getting it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, Tera has a unique trauma-informed coaching is a whole different animal. And I so celebrate what you're doing, because like you said, there are a lot of coaching programs out there that are 3 days or 2 weeks or whatever. My coaching programs were 2 years.
Yeah.
This was 19 years ago. But trauma-informed coaching is such an important, needed mastery skill that you can offer. And so again, I celebrate what you're doing. Wondering what would make 2026 your best year yet?
My goal this year is to start a new cohort every quarter, and I'm on track to do that. And it's so exciting because every time I get a new group of really hungry, like, I want to do my work and I want to learn how to do this, like it just fires me up again. So right now I have like 4 different groups that are going, and just, it's so exciting to see like where they are in their journey and them helping each other. Excuse me. And it's just like, that would be my best ever, is just like more students.
And so, and with your cohorts, how long are your cohorts?
That actually are a whole year.
A year.
Yeah.
Good.
Sweet. Okay. Well, we love it. And one of the, first of all, thank you so much for doing what you do. I love that I'm going to kind of mirror what Heather said, is that you're willing to go to those places with this trauma.
Yeah.
And you're that was the first thing I met with when I met you is you're like, look, I deal with trauma. And I was like, oh, there's so many coaches that do need that because they will hit that ceiling.
Yeah. Can I say another thing?
Yes, absolutely.
One of the things that's actually included in my program, but it's also a standalone thing, is a retreat where it's just about recovering from trauma. So it's a 3-day, totally intensive, like it's like 6 months of therapy in 3 days, recovery, like skills. And we do like an anger burn, just like all kinds of different things things you don't get to do in your normal life, because there's physical healing, there's emotional healing, there's mental, and there's spiritual. And we do all of it at the retreat. And this is another step where it's like, you have to know what it feels like in your body to recover from and to do some of that work so that you can help your clients to work through that too.
Yeah. Plus an important aspect that Becky and I are very passionate about, you're establishing community within each cohort, and that is priceless. Yep. So very excited about what you're doing.
And we love retreats too. Both of us run retreats.
We do. So one last question for you, Tera. Could you tell us, what does passion to payday mean to you?
That's a good question. It's your passion to payday and my passion to purpose are so close. But one of my students asked me the other day, tell me, is it really like, are your high ticket clients, are you actually making more? Because I know you've been coaching for 15 years and just like, tell me about this. And I'm like, yeah, the closer I get to figuring out how to speak about my passion, how to speak to my ideal client and call her right in, the more my payday has become. And even just in the last few months, it's like skyrocketing in a way, because I'm learning how to take the words and explain my passion so that, like you said earlier, Becky, like I'm just like literally inviting in those clients and in those people who really want to be in my space. And, right before we came on, we were talking about my energy. My energy is really calm, and it's kind of like the ocean. It kind of ebbs and flows, but I'm like just a really metered energy. And so I'm not for everyone. And I know that. But when people come into my space, one of my superpowers is to create that sacred, safe space that make them feel really safe, and being able to talk about trauma in a super safe space. That's how I get to my payday, is like all of that passion inside of me. It just translates.
I love that.
You just gave me an idea for one of our other questions is, what is your superpower?
Yeah, there you go.
I think that really, when you can tap into your superpower, your business does flow. I mean, that's what our event is all about, is building a business that flows, meaning like the clients are flowing to you, you're flowing to them, you're both finding each other, and you're both feeling joy. It's a win-win all across the board. Yeah. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your talents, being willing to get out there and to do what you do so that people can get their passions to the next level and reach out to their clients that they need. Yes. It's wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Tera. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on another episode of Passion to Payday. We'll see you on the next one. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Passion to Payday podcast.
If you're overwhelmed, spinning your wheels, and not seeing the income you want, there's a good chance you're undercharging for what you do.
We're going to change that. So join us live at our upcoming virtual event, May 13th through 15th, where together we'll build your high ticket offer so your passion finally pays you back.
Save your spot today,
because your passion deserves a payday.